I think because one of the things that happened, that with that sort of cynical decision that you're going to throw a Black consultant at a project, was the lack of expectation that this consultant would actually bring any value to the project other than their presence. And you know, I went to Cornell like a lot of other people. So, you know, you go to these fancy schools, you're supposed to have some chops. And what we were able to bring to the project, quite frankly, was the respect that it needed. So we were able to listen to what was being said on the client side in terms, you know, investigate the story and the history, the geographical history, the political history, the social history of the community in such a way that we were able to understand the importance of this story and identify what needed to be told about it, because not everything can or should be shared in the same sort of way. Mm-hmm. My methodology is a little bit different. I'm very old school about a lot of things. I happen to know construction very well. And so I approach documentation from the standpoint of telling a story about construction, and that's not how everybody is necessarily trained. And you know, we don't have a lot of financial resources, so it's very important that we make our deadlines and we hit this, and we're able to bill clients so that we're able to in turn make payroll. And a lot of people are not expecting to walk in and see that, you know, front and center. They think it happens in the back, you know, behind the curtain. And for us, it's very much apparent. So in a lot of ways, it's like an old-fashioned sort of situation where everybody in a family is in one room sleeping, you know, the parents and the kids, right? So it's very I don't want to say transparent, but very evident at that point. You know, we were talking about the different types of firms one day, and about how some firms, you know, the principals or the you know, the design leadership comes in and they have a site and they have an idea and they just impose the concept and they do these things and, you know, that's it. And then there are others who, you know, they come in and they look at it this one day and they tweak and they tweak and they turn and they massage right up until the point that construction documents are going out the door. And we're the latter, because we just feel that things keep becoming apparent or revealing themselves because we've done this or that has happened. So you know, I'd heard this phrase and it's sort of this term, and it coincided with having to make this decision. And I was very, very lucky in that, you know, I mentioned that because of the architecture part was there, and I mentioned it to my father, and he immediately started to send articles about Black landscape architects in the mail. So that was the first thing that happened. And the second thing was that my high school principal, my headmistress, kind of arranged the entire school schedule around my ability to do both art subjects and science subjects in order to pursue this thing. And I think you need to understand the options that will be available as you mature in your profession. But spend your summers doing, you know, spend one summer in getting a construction job. Learn to swing a hammer. Even if you're standing there with the fence, the sign that says stop and go, right? You're around the culture of construction. You begin to understand how the contractor is thinking, what it takes to implement, how things have to arrive, what comes first and what comes second, how you build that. That's very important. If you spend a summer doing something that will help you learn to listen and observe so that you can better understand engagement. It's very important. If, you know, if people say, I want to work with the community, well, then you need to understand how to look at things through the eyes of this client. That's what engagement is. Before you ask them, you know, how many amphitheaters they want or whatever it is, the discipline of looking at things through the eyes of somebody else is a key, is going to be the defining issue of the profession moving forward, I think. And so how schools, how programs address that, how professionals address it, how we as individual practitioners address it, is going to, separate, I'm going to say the winners from the losers in this area, right?